Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be setting up a brine shrimp hatchery using this. It's one of these things that they have at parties. I'm not sure what they're called, but they have the nozzle for like lemonade and stuff. This one's from Better Homes and Gardens. This is 1.5 gallons. But to start, I'm not going to be filling this up the whole way because that would be making excessive amounts of food. And this is the San Francisco Bay brand Hatch Mix. I've had good luck with this in the past. It's, I believe, a liter of water per packet. And now I've never done a whole packet at once before. I've always kind of like divvied it up. So yeah, but I'm going to do it this time. But you see, my thing is I actually feel really bad hatching these guys out for food. And half the time I just end up raising them because I feel so guilty about freezing them because it just feels cruel. But my baby fish really thrive on this when I have them. So, and lately I haven't been able to get a hold of the stuff that's already taken care of at the store, the stuff you can buy in the freezers. It's just always out of stock. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do it myself. So yeah, there's something I forgot to bring down. Hold on.
What are those?
I have quite a few of these because I used to make Snello for my snails, but I bought a couple new ones for the fish. These silicone molds for jello or ice or something. That's what I'm going to be using to pour the brine shrimp out in. Now these are quite large, so I'm definitely going to have to like cut them up before putting them in the tank. That is way too much for the fish. Alright, so I want to just show how I set this up because I've already tested it out. I haven't hatched anything out in it, but I've been like testing it out because I had to sanitize this because this is something we already had around the house, and like I don't want to give my fish lemonade or something, so yeah. But yeah, so I got this rigid tubing, which isn't really necessary. I was just going to do rigid tubing, more on that in a second, but I got this rigid tubing off of eBay, and I attached this wooden air stone to it, which is probably not necessary, but I've had these laying around, so I thought I'd use them for something. Now, I couldn't attach this into the rigid tubing, so I just put another piece of this regular aquarium tubing on it to attach this. And yeah, so yeah, the rigid tubing, it's probably not entirely necessary, but I thought it helped here. I actually initially bought this to culture phytoplankton, but it's a little smaller. I would have ordered, or I should have ordered a size up. So yeah, but I'm not ready to start the phytoplankton project just yet, so we're starting here. But yeah, this little wood lid that came with this, just drilled a hole into this to get the tubing through, and now we're ready to start. So I'm just hoping this doesn't get clogged by like brine shrimp or something, but it's going to be an interesting little test anyways. So, and another thing that I picked up, because I've never done this on like huge levels before, like I said, I always just end up raising the brine shrimp. But yes, I got the 2-part nets for cleaning the shrimp out to get them put in here so that you can get all the water out. Now, whether or not this is entirely necessary, I'm not 100% sure, but I've decided to do this because, or I'm not sure how much it matters. If anybody knows in the comments below, I would appreciate the help on this, but I bought this to partly separate like the salt water from this. Because now I don't know how they do it when they do it in the store, because I feed the store stuff to my baby cories once they're old enough, and to quite a few other fish, and I'm not sure if they separate the water out. So if anybody knows what the deal is, that'd be great. But if you know the answer to this is something I've been curious about. I've seen like conflicting opinions around the internet. Is the water, when you hatch these, can you put them straight in here, or do you have to rinse them out? Because one, there's the eggs. I'm afraid they might like perforate a fish's gut or something that they hatch out of. So I kind of want to remove the eggs, which is another purpose for this, to help separate the shrimp from the eggs. And then there's also the water. Is that going to hurt? Like, I mean, I don't think a small amount of salt water, I mean, you treat with that a lot. I don't think it's going to affect your baby cories or your sensitive species to salt, but it's just a thought, like if they eat that or something. So it's something I'm genuinely curious about because I don't know. So if anybody has the answer to that below, I would appreciate your input. But yeah, the biggest concern though is the eggs. I don't think a little bit of salt's gonna hurt them, but in fact it might actually be healthy. But I'm not entirely sure. But the eggs I don't want in there. But I've seen some people say they put it straight into these and they have no problems. But I'd love to hear your input on that below. All right, without further ado, let's get this set up. Alright, so here we are. It's 48 hours later and I need to get these guys into the freezer because I feel so bad. But the sooner you do it, the more nutritious they are. So, and I already waited 48 hours. Some of them were hatched at 24, but I wanted to just give it a little more time. So let's get the light on and attract them to the light. First, let's get a good look here. Let's see. Oh, here's a huge pile of them. And yeah, I did end up filling this up a little more, so it's not as potent as you see some people have it, but here we are. And please tell me I'm not the only one who just feels awful freezing these guys. They're so cute. So this nozzle thing really was helpful with this, and towards the end of cleaning all this out, it helped me get the remaining shrimp off of the sides of the net. And here, this is kind of a weird way to do it, but I really didn't want to run this under the sink for 10 minutes or more because I just didn't want to waste water. So instead, I just kept taking this bucket of dechlorinated water I already had sitting around, and I just kept pouring it back in and really working to get all the brine shrimp down into that second net. And yeah, kind of a weird way of doing it, but it worked.
Yummy.
Alright, and then I'm filling these up about halfway. I probably could have done even less because, like I said earlier in the video, these things are huge and it's just way too much food to be putting in one go. So I'm gonna still have to cut them up. But yeah, this is pretty much concentrated brine shrimp for the most part with a little bit of water. So it's a lot of food. And then I gotta feed some fresh stuff to my fish. And the corals enjoy it too, so the Duncan grabbed quite a bit of this. But that's a wrap on this week's video, and I will see you soon. Next week I have another Hygger product that I'm testing, and I hope you join me for that. Take care, everyone. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.